So the third episode of A Place Further Than the Universe finally aired, and we've been properly introduced to every member of our main quartet. So I thought now would be a good time to give my overall impressions on the series so far. And oh boy, has this show made an impression on me. It's filled me with such utter delight every time I see it. The main quartet is a lovable group that bounce off one another in a very effective and endearing manner, with each member having their own distinct personalities and goals. Mary's arc in the first episode made her rather engaging, as she suffers from a feeling many of us have at various moments in our lives. What am I doing with my life? Mary's desire to go on an adventure while she still has the time is very relatable, as is her initial inability to do so. She's not much of a risk taker and makes every excuse to avoid changing her own status quo. It might be raining, I don't have enough money, what would I do when I got there? These are excuses everybody makes. However, this all changes when Shirase comes into her life and makes her reflect on what she really wants, and gives her the proper push to begin her adventure proper, in a rather satisfying ending montage at the end of the first episode that really brings the first arc of this character to a close. Her friendships with the other three girls continue to let us see different parts of her, even after this arc is over, as there are more arcs to come involving all of this material. Her continued growth as she continues to have the time of her life is really satisfying. Shirase herself is an interesting character, who's also really funny. Her laser-focused goal to find her mother in Antarctica immediately gives the viewer an idea of how strong a resolve she has. This is not the only facet to her character, though, as she's incredibly awkward from years of ostracization due to her one-minded goal that kind of made her go apart from her peers and be mocked. She's also prone to extreme outbursts of emotions and wears her emotions on her sleeve. She's also really endearing though, and as Hanada put it, a glass half full type of person. Her budding friendships with Mary and Hanada are also incredibly enjoyable to witness, as you see them begin to understand one another and begin to act accordingly. Speaking of Hanada, she is a really interesting character in her own right. She chooses not to attend high school despite being very intelligent and having the full intent of going to college. She's already gotten her high school certificate and really just wants to show up everybody who ignored their lessons at school while she was out working. Like Mary, she also sees this as the only chance for her to do anything like this. Her camaraderie with Mary is really charming, as is her learning the best way to deal with someone as hyperactive as Shirase. Her relationship with Yuzuki, much like Mary's and Shirase's, is only beginning to form, and I really look forward to where it might go from here. We've only really had an episode to get to know Yuzuki, but she's been entertaining so far, and her desire for friendship is something many people can relate to. Her dynamic with her mother will probably be her main focus during the show, as well as her potential friendships with the rest of the cast. I look forward to seeing more about her, learning more about her, and seeing just where her character goes by the end of the show. As for the production of the show, the character designs and animation have been solid throughout its first 3 episodes. It is Madhouse. And so far the story has been moving at a nice pace and hasn't dragged in any place. It has me honestly excited to see where these characters go and to see them deal with the harsh journey that is most likely ahead of them. They are headed towards Antarctica. I fully expect the uplifting mood of the show to be accompanied, not replaced, but accompanied by more conflict and drama as we get towards Antarctica. Overall though, the show is off to an ironically hot start.